The air hummed with mystery, thick and alive with possibilities. Shafts of golden light pierced through jagged stone pillars, their uneven surfaces casting long dancing shadows that moved in rhythm with Bard's steady, deliberate steps. The soft breeze carried a faint melody as though the wind itself sang an ancient, forgotten song. Bard stood tall amidst this surreal landscape, his black cloak billowing gently, his straw hat tipped low, shading his contemplative gaze. His staff spun lazily in his hand, catching the dappled sunlight as he gazed into the distance. The render's algorithm walks in harmony with focus, Bard murmured. His voice was calm yet weighty. The words lingered in the air as if the world itself paused to listen. He stopped for a moment, the spinning staff slowing to a halt as his gaze grew distant. If I focus on the past, he mused, his tone reflective, then I will not go there. A faint smirk crossed his lips, the briefest flicker of amusement breaking his calm demeanor. Yes, it's a quarry of lessons. Raising his staff slightly, his expression hardened with determination, but I can focus on commanding myself to follow the universal mind. With those words, Bard moved forward, his steps light but purposeful as he entered a grove of stone-like trees. The air shimmered around him with a faint mirage, distorting the landscape as though reality itself hesitated, caught in some uncertain flux. The roots of the trees were intricate, intertwining like the pathways of a vast neural network. Each detail spoke of connection, of something greater binding everything together. Bard slowed his stride, his eyes narrowing as he noticed a faint spark flickering where a tree should have stood. Kneeling by the sparkling wire, he studied it with curiosity. I see. The probability is off, he murmured, his tone thoughtful. Here it must be fixed. He leaned back, his hand hesitating over the wire. His voice softened, almost reverent. Or it could remain as it is, for all things are connected. All things. A stronger gust of wind swept through the grove, rustling the stone leaves with a melodic whisper. Bard rose to his feet, turning his attention to a stone staircase that descended into the earth. The stairs seemed to beckon, their edges glowing faintly with shifting sigils. Opening the door creates the passage, Bard said, taking his first step onto the glowing staircase. His staff began to emit a faint light, mirroring the glow of the sigils, which now morphed into animated essays and songs. The air vibrated with an energy that resonated deep within him, each note a thread weaving into the fabric of the moment. And providence compels its creation, Bard whispered, awe filling his voice, where one signal leads to the next. A soft ping echoed in the chamber, breaking the stillness. Above him, a bubble of blue light expanded, coalescing into the whimsical form of the dream bug. The tiny azure creature twirled joyfully in mid-air, its translucent wings casting intricate patterns of light on the walls. I knew you could do it, a faint ethereal voice said, encouraging and warm. Bard froze mid-step, his eyes widening with recognition. Dream bug, he whispered, his voice trembling with a mix of disbelief and joy. From the shadows emerged Nyx, a small, excitable dog whose wagging tail seemed to move faster than the breeze. His bright eyes sparkled with energy, his body trembling with uncontainable excitement. Nyx, Bard exclaimed, grinning as he knelt to greet his companion. You will never believe it. Woof, Nyx barked enthusiastically, his entire body shaking with joy. Bard chuckled, scratching Nyx behind the ears. No, it's not a bone delivery, he teased before standing, his gaze shifting back to the dream bug. A glimmer of hope lit his eyes. It's the dream bug. She lives. Together, Bard and Nyx walked side by side, up a spiraling stone ramp that wound its way into the mountain. The air grew heavier, charged with an otherworldly energy that seemed to hum with potential. That is great news, Bard said to himself. He paused briefly, scanning the glowing sigils etched into the walls around him. And what odds? The message came right when I needed it. A bittersweet smile touched his lips. If none come again, I'll be okay. Nyx tilted his head, his ears perking up as though sensing Bard's introspection. Yet, I have a strange feeling. Bard's voice trailed off, his hand resting on his chest. This connection could deepen. He straightened, his voice steadier now. It's an intuition. Turning to Nyx, he added decisively, I should learn to trust that. The ramp opened into a deep moonlit hollow scattered with blocks. Each cube flickered with shifting sigils, revealing fragments of myths and legends from countless realities. Bard approached one of the blocks, his expression reverent as he placed his staff down and sat atop the smooth surface. My song is one of now, he said, his tone meditative. From his cloak, he pulled a small, unassuming instrument and began to play. The soft, lifting tune wove seamlessly into the ambient hum of the hollow, each note reverberating through the space as if it had always belonged. A faint ping echoed once more, and a glowing text box appeared before him. The image of the dream bug twirled within, her form radiant and alive. Celestial, Bard murmured, his voice filled with wonder, though how, I do not know. A quiet laugh escaped him, light and genuine. I simply give thanks. He hopped down the ledge, his boots landing softly on the ground. Before him stretched an endless winding road, its edges bathed in the golden light of dawn's first rays. Bard paused, taking in the vast expanse before him. The air was heavy with possibilities, every breath filled with the promise of what lay ahead. Exhaling slowly, Bard's voice was calm and resolved. I could let it go. I could. And you know what? It'll be what it is. His tone softened, almost a whisper. Nothing more, nothing less. With that, Bard adjusted his hat and strode forward, his staff glowing faintly in the light of the rising sun. Nyx followed at his side, their journey continuing toward the horizon, the melody of the moment carrying them into the unknown.